John Wick, the man, the myth, the walking marketing case study. A man so loyal he makes repeat purchasing look like a religious ritual. So emotionally motivated he'd execute an entire Russian syndicate over a poor customer service interaction involving a beagle. Today we ask the only question that matters. What if all your customers were like John Wick? And more importantly, could your brand survive it? Let's start with the obvious. John Wick's entire bloody rampage, his 4-movie customer loyalty arc, began with a beagle and a bad attitude from Alfie Allen. That wasn't just a dog, that was his last connection to his dead wife. It was grief with paws, emotional memory in a fur coat, and within 12 hours, someone kills it. That right there is the marketing dream.
Huh? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
No, not the beagle murder, though that's certainly memorable, but the depth of emotional connection. John Wick didn't just want revenge, he needed it. He was spiritually aligned with the cause. The man could have burned down the world and we'd still say, yeah, fair enough, mate. In marketing terms, he wasn't activated by a discount code or some push notification with a dancing paperclip. He was triggered by something every great brand should aim for: meaning. We talk about emotional marketing like it's this mysterious force, like you need to make someone cry during an advert for antibacterial wipes. But all it really means is the customer should feel like not buying from you is a betrayal of self. That's what big brands like Nike have been doing for years. That's why John Lewis rolls out their seasonal trauma every Christmas. That's why people still buy Heinz beans, not because they're better, but because their nan did. Memory, meaning, consistency. A sense that this brand, this product, this thing is part of your story. And that's what the dog was. A simple, quiet symbol. And when that was taken from him, his mission became emotionally inevitable.
That is the sound of inevitability.
If you want your customers to come back again and again without you begging, give them reason that isn't logic. Give them something they'd go to war for. Ideally, of course, not literally. That tends to affect your Trustpilot reviews. Don't underestimate what emotional resonance can do, because once someone feels like your product is theirs, you've won. And if they feel like you've taken it from them, you'll wish it was just a beagle. R.I.P. Daisy, you were too pure for a world full of branding consultants. Let's talk about loyalty. Most brands think it's when someone buys from you more than once. No, that's just not leaving. That's convenience. That's the Sainsbury's was closer. Loyalty is what happens when someone actively resists alternatives, when the very idea of buying from someone else makes them feel like a traitor. That's John Wick. You don't see him hopping onto Yelp. He's not reading Glassdoor reviews of rival assassin syndicates. He's loyal to his code, his cause, his continental membership card. In marketing, retention is the golden goose everyone forgets about because acquisition's sexier. Let's get new leads. Let's chase cold audiences. Let's funnel the funnel until it's just us screaming into an expensive CRM that no one uses properly. Here's a stat for you. It can cost 5 to 25 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. But do we treat our current customers like Wick-level VIPs? Of course not. We spam them. We ignore them until they leave and then hit them with a "we miss you" email like a desperate ex who just discovered emotional literacy. Loyalty like John's isn't built on free shipping and 10% off coupons. It's built on trust, consistency, and identity alignment. Wick's loyalty isn't passive. It's violent. It's irrational. It's beautiful. The kind of loyalty most brands dream of. If John Wick had a Nectar card, he'd kill for those points. And more importantly, he'd never use someone else's. The real lesson here, if you're not building emotional loyalty, all you've got is transactional obedience. And the moment someone cheaper, faster, and shinier comes along, the customers are gone. No text, no goodbye, just an abandoned cant with the faint smell of betrayal. You don't want that. You want a crusader. You want someone who defends your brand at family barbecues like it's a religion. And your aunt is blaspheming by suggesting that Tesco own brand is better. You don't need 1 million customers. You just need 100, 10, 1, who'd go full Wick if someone spoke badly about your brand. Fewer discount codes, more blood oaths.
Just a short editing disclaimer. Please don't actually do blood oaths with people.
John Wick makes deals, and then, wait for it, he keeps them. Wild concept, I know. You offer John Wick a coin, he gives you service. You cash in a marker, he fulfills the oath, even if he doesn't want to, even if it ends with him covered in blood in a Russian bathhouse, chased by the ghost of his poor life choices. Because John Wick understands something that most companies don't: transactional integrity. You make a promise, you keep it. Now, this shouldn't be revolutionary, and yet in the real world, half of your customer base has PTSD from trying to cancel a gym membership, return a faulty toaster, or just use a voucher that doesn't apply to sale items, promotional weeks, or any sense of joy. We live in a world where subscriptions hide the exit like a hostage situation, where free trial means you now have Spotify, Now TV, and something called Calm Plus, charging you $3.99 a month until the heat death of the universe.
So, what brings you here? Well, I signed up to several free trials for subscription services.
Now, Wick, he'd never stand for it. If he says he'll be there, he's there. If he takes the contract, it's done. And if he commits, it's absolute. His word is binding. Your checkout button, not so much. Transactional integrity in itself isn't sexy, but that's where trust lives. It's the reason customers come back. Not because you dazzled them, but because you didn't shaft them. They bought a thing, the thing worked, no one lied. That's it. That's the bar now. Congratulations, the whole industry has gaslit itself into thinking not being deceptive is a unique service proposition. So what are the brands that get this right? Patagonia? Monzo? Greg's on a good day? Brands that get it wrong? Any airline that says light snack included and hands you a sealed air packet and a broken dream? Or worse, Facebook, who somehow turned being free into a moral debt you never finish paying. So here's the real takeaway from Wick's transactional ethos. If you offer something, deliver. If you promise a result, be prepared to fight for it. And if your loyalty scheme requires 4 steps, a blood test, and an MFA login just to redeem a 50p voucher, you're not a brand, you're a threat. John Wick honors his contracts even when they break him. Your business can't honor a free returns policy without outsourcing it to a man named Trevor in a warehouse that smells like, let's call it, damp. Be more like Wick and less like Trevor. John Wick is what marketers dream of at night. Not because he's handsome, dangerous, or collects antique murder coins, but because he's a high-intent buyer. No dithering, no price comparisons, no asking Reddit if there's a better dupe on AliExpress. In this day and age, most consumers are walking anxiety spirals. They get halfway through checkout, have a minor existential crisis, and decide they don't really need it after all. Wick, he's the anti-abandoner. If Wick enters your sales funnel, he's coming out the other side with blood on his suit and a confirmation email. That's the power of customer conviction, and it's priceless. Why? Because convincing people to buy is expensive. It takes time, resources, emotional briberies disguised as brand storytelling. But a customer who's already committed, that's gold dust. It's why car salesmen treat repeat buyers like royalty and first-time buyers like someone who's just wandered in looking for directions to Nando's. So how do you create that kind of obsession in normal people? Ones who don't know 12 ways to kill a man with a pencil. Clarity. Simplicity. Your brand should feel like a mirror, not a riddle, not a jigsaw puzzle. Wick doesn't waste time. Neither should your customers. If your buying journey has more than 3 steps or your website looks like a digital migraine, you're bleeding sales. This is what most businesses offer: a tangled mess of options, conditions, delays, and vague promises like "we believe in excellence." Wick would rather set the building on fire. The real magic of Wick is that he's already made the decision. He doesn't need nurturing. He doesn't want a drip campaign. He doesn't care if it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or Travel Tuesday. He needs a solution now. You want customers like John Wick, but to earn that kind of focus, you need to stop marketing like you're selling scented candles at a village fair. Get clear, get sharp, and for fuck's sake, put that 15% off if you spin the wheel plugin in the bin. Here's the truth, and it may hurt. You don't have customers like John Wick. You have Barry. Barry from Watford. Barry from somewhere that rhymes with regret. Barry shops based on price, not principle. Barry asks questions that were clearly answered on the homepage. Barry leaves 1-star reviews because his parcel didn't arrive in a timely, emotional window. Barry asks what's your best price on Facebook Marketplace. Barry doesn't want to kill for your brand. He wants to speak to a manager. Now, don't get me wrong. Barry means well. He just isn't loyal. He's not emotionally invested. He'll leave you for a £2 voucher and the promise of free next-day delivery. Wick would rather crawl through a sewer of glass than switch providers. Barry? Well, Barry clicks on the first Google ad with the word sale in all caps and a vaguely threatening exclamation mark. So what's the lesson? Is it to wish all your Barrys away and hold out for 1,000 Wick clones? No. It's to nudge the Barrys slowly, gently. From confused gremlin to mildly loyal human. Barry may be slow, but he's seen lifetime guarantee turn into terms apply too many times. The Wick fantasy is beautiful, but if you can turn just 10% of your Barrys into people who care, even a small amount, that's real marketing, because Wick doesn't need convincing. But Barry needs hand-holding, patience, and a damn good reason to come back. Barry will test you, but if you win Barry, you win the market. So, you've built your brand, you've dreamt of a customer like John Wick. All loyalty, no questions, and a total refusal to consider alternatives. But could you actually survive that level of commitment? Probably not. But if you could, you'd never need another customer again. Because one Wick is worth 1,000 wafflers, and frankly, you could use fewer wafflers. Build something worth bleeding for. Just, in this case, ideally, not literally. Remember to subscribe, or don't. You're an adult. I'm not your dad. And remember, keep on trucking.